Alright, in today's video, we are going to demo how to install WideWorldImporters sample database and AdvantureWorks sample database on SQL Server 2022 and RC0 as a current release. This is the SQL Server on Linux. So the typical step is first we download those backups, the database backups, and then perform the restore. Theoretically, there's really no difference than use SSS SMS to do the restore, okay? Or use command line if you have the SQL ready. So we will demo how to do that. So the AdvantureWorks is kind of has been in the SQL Server world for many years, and WideWorldImporters is relatively new compared to this AdvantureWorks, and it seems more complicated. But we will see why after do the installation. Okay. All right, let's get started. So first let's do Google search download. Okay, download AdvantureWorks AdvantureWorks. Okay, so let's see AdvantureWorks sample database. So because the server I'm having, it is Windows, not a Linux server. So I'm gonna it's SQL Server 2019. 22. So, but we don't have this 22 here, right? So we just download the 2019 as a substitute for now. Okay. So then you let's just use this one OLTP. So you click, it will start it download. After you download them, we're gonna upload this to the server side. Okay, this is one method that is the typically, and at the same time, let's also do the download WWI called WideWorldImporters. Okay, so install and config sample database. So it's in the GitHub. Let's go to this is the release. Okay, let's go to download. Okay, so we're gonna download this one. This one, there's no version. It's just as long as you are 2019 SP1 and up, should be good enough. Okay, so we're gonna download this one. So, but I'm gonna demo a different way to do this. Okay, so I'm gonna download it directly to the Linux server. I'm gonna copy this link. Okay, so use a different way to do that. So that would say if the server, I'm in the database server, the internet access, we can download, use wget, curl. If you have PowerShell installed, you can use invoke web request and the other things. Okay, so let me open a command window. So I'm going to let's see, SSH to that remote server. In my case, that is Oracle Linux 8. Okay, so I'm inside this box. I'm as a root. Okay, so for simplicity, I'm going to use wget to get a CD to a location, have enough space for that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use wget, then followed by the one earlier I copied. Okay, let me make this window a little bit wider. You will see. This is the URL, HTTPS, and this is the image or backup we're going to copy. Okay, so I'm going to copy this one. Once it's copied, yeah, let's take a look. Okay, so we copied. The size of is about 120 some megabytes. So let's see. So it's about 122 megabytes. Okay. So you see the owner is owned by root. So we need this backup to be readable by the MS SQL. Okay, so that is we do the restore. Okay, but from the permission you can see it's RWRR. That means everybody can read. That is one method. However, if you work on the Linux, you probably more prefer to work as the MS SQL user. So in this way, you don't have to deal with those kind of permission issue. So I'm gonna remove this guy and try another way. Okay. So for this one, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a sudo. I'm going to switch to this user called MSSQL. That is the owner of MSSQL, MSSQL. Okay. You see here, if I'm sudo to this user, this is the user's home directory. It's /var/opt/MSSQL. So if I do the same command and get, right? So if I follow the same URL, you will see this backup is owned by the MS SQL. Okay, so this is another way. If you have internet, it's more simple instead of go to 2 steps. But in the real world problem, you better to go to the you better go to 2 steps. But here with our experiment, so it's easy. We don't want to go to 2 steps. Okay, so we get this wide world importers backup. Let's also do the, I'm also going to get that as well. So let me also get the AdvantureWorks database. So although I already downloaded the laptop, right? So let's just give it, same thing. Right click, you see, copy the link. Okay, so I'm going to do the same thing. Okay, wget and or use curl. So all right, it's on the server. You see, let's see. It's studio running. So let's take a quick look. Now you see I have 2 backups. They are owned by the MSQL user. Okay, one it is about 200 megabyte, another is 100 megabytes for the WWI wide world importers. Okay, let's do the restore. The only difference is in Windows, if you log on as a admin user, so everybody can read, right? Okay. With Linux, because of the user management, you need to make sure the file have enough, give the file enough access to the user, or make the file to be the owner of this user. Okay. All right. So let's get started. Now let's use the SSMS, because use SSMS is relatively easy. Okay, so let's do so I'm gonna connect to the server. I'm gonna use SA because this is not domain AD enabled, so we need to use SQL login. Okay, right now I have a sample database here. So we're going to do the installation. Okay, so let's go to right click, restore database. And then we're gonna choose a device. Okay, so let's click on these 3 dots. We're gonna add. So for add, you're gonna first look at the default location. If you put in the default location, you will find. Things we put into the home directory for this user. So let's do var opt, right? So it's var opt ms SQL. This is the two backup. If you look at it, you see the location /var/opt or opt and /ms SQL. Okay, ms SQL. So let's do this first. Okay, so I'm going to see, pick up this file, add it, and then okay. Then the SSMS is going to work for you. You see, this is how this file is going to be mapped. This is original location. You see, this is on the Windows, and then back it up. They have a D drive and an E drive. D drive data, E drive is for the log, and this is on the Linux the file path. You see here, the restore files. This such as original file name and the file type, file stream, log, and the two raw data. Okay. And so if we click OK, then it's going to be restored. So we take a default. So I'm not going to run from the GUI. I'm going to run from the script. Okay. So in this way, you can see more clear how this backup being restore being performed. So I'm going to cancel this GUI. So let's take a look at the command actually. So this command can be run from anywhere, if you connect a database. So you see restore database, WideWorldImporters, and from disk. So this is the disk we just download disk image downloaded from disk backup. Okay, and then we're gonna use some options. So we'll just take a quick look how this Microsoft did. Okay, so so the first move is let's move to this location, and the second move is for the this is the logic name, and this is the physical. Okay, so it's more clear. So we're gonna have move. Okay, so it should be good enough. So let's see status file. All right, so it's almost ready. So let's go ahead, just run this restore. It's probably take like few 10 seconds. I'm going to just go ahead execute. Like for example, if you want to run from a SQL CMD, you can just copy this to a file, or just directly run from another GUI, another command. Okay. So it's working. So let's go to another one. So I'm going to go to second one, and let's see, restore database. Okay, the first one is finished. So let me refresh this one. All right, so we have this worldwide report, wide world importers. So you see, this is the tables, some tables, and let's just briefly browse those tables. You see they have most of the tables. It is system version table, and so that is what is something new we need learn. Okay, and also drop the ledger tables. This is also something new, I think. But anyway, so this is tables, views, and also stored procedures, functions, etc. You see lots of stored procedures, functions. Okay. All right, so that is the wide world importers. Also, let's take a look at the property. We will see The size is about 3 gig files. You see here, file group. So this logic file name is in this group, primary group, file group. Another is called user data. Okay, so it's pretty clear. But in our case, we all map to one file path. So if you have multiple mounts, you can map to different as well. So that is the WideWorldImporters. Okay. So also let's do the second one. So we're going to install the database. Same thing, device, and then we're going to add the backup. So same thing, we're going to look at into this OPT MS SQL, pick up the AdventureWorks 2019. Okay. So I'm not sure. Let's give it a try. Yeah, it probably is going to be okay. So this time I just used the GUI, so but it's going to be a similar thing, you know. So probably this one take a little bit longer than half a minute because the size you see is about 200 megabyte. I'm guessing most likely it's compressed. All right, it's completed. Let's take a quick look. Right click, properties. Let's see. Oh, the size is only 300 meg. That means the wide supported database is much bigger because the backup was compressed. So here it's just uncompressed. It's 300 megabytes for this the AdventureWorks, okay, 2019. So let's click OK. Let's take a brief look. So this is all the tables. And also, let me minimize tables, also have views. Yeah, and let's see, views, programmability, store procedures, you know, so functions, yeah. So this is AdventureWorks, okay. So these two database is very good for learning, and old days I think we mostly use AdventureWorks. There's another one called Northwind something, okay? But I guess this one is much popular. Nowadays, I think lots of people is also using this WideWorldImporters. And so let's take a look, okay? So I'm gonna just do a brief so you see the difference between these two databases, okay? So WideWorldImporter is going to have more features, okay? Let me go to the AdventureWorks first. Let's just look at the table, okay? So for the table, I'm going to use the Explorer detail, okay? So those are the tables you see. The table name, schema name, when it is created. So I'm going to remove some of the tab, okay? So I'm going to add in some tabs so you can see more clear. So I'm going to see the data like the data size. Then I'm also going to see the index size, adding for the tabs. Also, let's do a row count. Okay. What else I want? There should be. Let me add one more. Okay. So let me make this more columns so you can see it more clear. Okay. So let's do one more. Owner, that's fine. Have compressed partition. Let's see if memory optimize is false. Adding one more, I'm gonna add in this as compressed partition. They are false. Okay. So this is one way to look at the table. Okay, so let's briefly look. Let's see the first. I'd like to see the data size. Okay, that is mainly the data. So you see the largest table data size is about 30 megabytes. That is the person, and its corresponding index size is 52 megabytes. The number of rows is about 19,000, and this is listed as the data size, or you can sort on the index size. And let's see, index size, same thing, the person table and the sales table, and also you can sort on the row count. So the sales table has most row count, and that's sales detail, I mean, and it's 121,000. Okay, let me go back to this one. I think I was wrong early. It's person, yeah, person table, yeah. And if you look at the memory optimized, it's all false because this database is kind of old days. Probably at the time the memory optimized not there yet. As compressed partition, no. You see, by brief looking at the table, you already know how complicated the structure might be. So to compare, so let's go to the more modern wide world importer database. We're gonna do the same thing, okay? So let's take a look at the table. All right, so you can take the same view. Let's look at the disk space, data space. So now you'll see we have the invoice. It has like 90 megabytes, and the index space is about 14 megabytes to the number of 70,000. Okay, let's sort on the row count. So row count, it is the stock item transactions. Yeah, that have like 236,000 rows, and then the order lines 200. So the size-wise, those tables actually be decent big for us to do query, do like some experiment, like this sales order lines, sales invoice lines, those kind of, and so that is that is the two sample database. It is good for people to learn. Also, if I go to the where's the website, like where we download the GitHub location, it is actually, I'm looking at WWI, okay. WideWorld supporter, not support, importer. And you can get lots of more information. Besides these backups, they also have other things you can learn, like lots of information. Let's see, latest release. Yeah, those is the backups. Also, they have backpack, that is when you work with the error SQL database. You're gonna use the backpack to upload the data, So, and also if you look at the asset, they have the source code you can study. Also, they have let's see, source code. There's some other things, backup standard. Yeah, sample scripts. Let me take a look at this SAM script. Okay, so let's copy link. So you can also see what sample script for us to look. Okay, let me do a wget to get those scripts. All right, so let's do an unzip to see what is inside of this script. Okay, so it's going to be sample script. Right, so let's see. Yeah, sample script. Yeah, some SQL statement. You can take a look. Demonstrate polybase. Demonstrate always encrypted and in-memory or OLTP vehicle location. Yeah, there's something for us to learn. Okay, so I think this there, almost there. So another day I also did another database. This is from what do you call it? TPCH. You see that also another sample database I showed. These ones have some less tables, but it look at its size. It's 6 million rows, and the size is about 1 gig for the line item. This also can be used for us to learn and experiment some database features. All right, it's kind of it's over 25 minutes, so I'm gonna stop here.